welcome back to Confess It, Baby. Today, you guys are in for some laughs.
You may already know who our guest this week is. We pretty much see him in our profile and our feed every single week on Only in Dade. Why are you mimicking me right now?
If you don't know who he is, then you're not from Miami.
If you don't know who he is, you're not a human. He's
like
Miami New Times best comedian
keep them
of
coming. What
pretty
else?
much every year.
Okay,
He's
well.
an improviser. He's been on American Idol, so that means he can obviously sing. Please drum roll. Welcome to Confess It, Carlos with an H.
Hey, what's up? How are you guys?
Hi.
That was crazy.
That was
a very
the
long
perfect
introduction.
Yeah, I don't know
intro.
how I
I
feel
could have
about
kept
that.
going.
I know.
But this
I
is
felt
the best
uncomfortable.
part of it all, guys.
What?
I'm in the middle of two lovebirds.
I know. I don't know. How,
It's
I
like
know.
a therapy session. We just love these, huh?
I know. I just love
It's
to be a
true.
therapist in the
It's good.
sessions.
And you're wearing headphones and we're not. I don't know.
I have to keep control of this volume.
She has to make
That's
sure
true.
we're not too loud because
get it.
that's
Yeah.
what we tend to be, too loud.
But yeah, hi, what's up?
What's up? How
I
you
feel like I'm in
feeling?
trouble in the principal's office. What's up with this energy,
That's
bro?
Pretty much.
You're like, yeah,
that-
we're only see
Yeah,
him on
we're
the
just
feed
like
all the
bringing you
time.
here
like,
to
if it's
ask
like
you
a trouble.
questions.
Ask you questions.
Yeah, what's going
It's been
on?
a long ass day, but we want to know more about you. At least I do. She probably knows a lot
Yeah,
about
she
you.
does.
I know
She
everything
knows,
I
she
need
knows
to know.
everything,
It's
but
pretty good. Yeah, we
I
can talk about
don't.
just anything though.
And
you
for
feel me?
those that don't know,
Exactly. So I'm gonna
Correct.
kick it off.
Kick
alright?
it off. Dude.
So, take me to the beginning of it all. When did you think you were funny enough to be a comedian?
That's hilarious. I literally do feel like I'm in the principal's office. When did you think you were funny enough to be a comedian? I don't know. I was probably in the principal's office, and then I got in trouble. No, I honestly was just always trying to. I enjoyed comedy since I was a kid. Like I was always like looking for the funny thing to watch on TV. I would always like gravitate towards funny movies, funny things here and there. And then slowly but surely, like I just was funny on my own, I guess. Even though like no one likes to say they're funny. Like you just like, you know, you're funny, and then you're like, yeah. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's funny. But I just like made my friends laugh, made my parents laugh, like made my family laugh, and then yeah, I just like wanted to do it as a dream, and then like I slowly like started making it a reality, like little by little, and I still can't believe like I am where I am, which is pretty dope. So
now
yeah.
you do this full time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
And I recently just saw a show.
you did. Yeah.
How does it feel when you're like up there on the stage trying to make people laugh? Like what goes on through your mind, through your nerves? Like do you get nervous anymore?
At this point, I just kind of like let it flow. Like I'm trying to like just make it a vibe when I'm up there. Like obviously I have material written. Like I like take time with like.
So
all
you
that.
prepare for this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, if I make you paid $30 or more, I want to be prepared. But you know, I still have like I did like improv forever, which is just like kind of like you're on your own with another person or like a group of people, making up something based on like a suggestion and then just making comedy out of it. So I just use like that improv training that I had when I'm on like do stand up, and I obviously write out material, do it that way, but I like to feel loose with it. When I feel too rigid with it, like with the material, when it's like exactly verbatim every single time, it makes it, for me at least, it makes me feel a little bit like uptight. But if I get loose with it and have fun with it and like, you know, basically like do crowd work in between or like talk to, like it still comes out how I wrote it.
You're always gonna have different crowds as well that you can like pick from there.
Exactly. Like on that show on Wednesday, like it was just like, I was just like, I felt like I was like in the living room talking to my friends and for a minute. And that's what you want it to feel like. You want it to feel like it's like a conversation that's like almost like improvised and it's not written, but it's actually you wrote everything down and like, you know, like I had everything planned out. Like for me, every like thing, I had like index cards for every little thing because I like, you know, I was working on an hour of material. So.
And do every comedian like study like practices and like prepare to this extent, or this is just like something that just works for you?
No, I mean I think everybody's different. Like there's comedians that I know that just kind of do crowd work and that's all they do, and there's comedians I know that everything is meticulous, every word matters. Like Jerry Seinfeld, like for example, he literally has every single word. Once he goes back to the book, once he writes it again, he performs it, and then he'll delete. Every single word matters. Like every minute of every single second matters, whatever word that is, and he knows what word is going to make it funnier. And like other people I know also follow that path. Other people just kind of like are like, yeah, I'm just a storyteller, and they just tell stories on stage. it all really depends. At the end of the day, if, like, you're laughing, that's what we want. So.
And your jokes, where does like the inspiration come from?
Just my life.
Your life.
I like kind of.
So your life is that funny? It's a.
I just make it funny.
He makes it all a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like my job. That's how I make it feel. Like I'm like out here just living life, and then things happen to me, and if I find it funny, or if I'm like, oh, this could be a joke, like obviously I'm not like purposely putting myself in situations for them to be funny, but I do know I have like the mind that it will turn it funny or will find it funny in that situation. So that's kind of how I make it feel. I don't like try to like make a joke into something or like construct a joke out of nothing. Like, sure, I've done that before, or like if I'm writing for like a TV show or if I'm writing for something else, like you kind of have to do that. But when it comes to my stand-up, I'm kind of like very like slice of life, like what I'm going through, and I just make it funny, like little jokes in between the stories, etc. But yeah.
So I want to bring up, you said you do a lot of crowd work.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit what that consists of? And you are very good at it. You can rank on anyone in a heartbeat without knowing who they are.
Yeah.
So has there ever been a moment where someone has gotten seriously offended and, you know,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of a
Any
show, how does that
backlash?
work?
Yeah, a few times. But yeah, that's just kind of like what happens. But well, crowd work, since you asked, is kind of like just like the way I see it as a transitional tool, like in between jokes. So like if I'm like talking about, if I'm doing a joke about, I don't know, couples, I'm like, who's single in the audience? And I'm like, how long have you guys been together? Like that's just like a tool to like bring the audience in, and then like they are like, oh, we're part of the show, like even more. And then you kind of bounce off that and go into another joke, and then like make it about that. So that's kind of where crowd work is. And then you, if it feeds into it, that you like start like not ranking or roasting. It's just like you're just observing like what's happening, and then that makes it funny because it's like you're all in, like those 300 or 20 people, however many people are in that room, are like in on that joke, and they know this is a special thing because this guy's talking about that specific thing right now. It's not material he wrote, but it still just helps to keep on like continuing on to like more material
And interact with the audience, like it helps
Yeah.
to keep their attention too.
people want to like, you know, feel like they're in for
They're
something
part
special.
of
They
it
paid money
too.
for this, they paid for drinks, they
Yeah.
have a babysitter that they got for their kid, like they're eating, like this is a night for them, so you want to make it feel like they're part of something special every
And
time.
when those jokes have gone wrong,
Yeah.
what happened?
Well, there's
you
like
can tell
times,
their face. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly,
have they thrown something at you ever?
no, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, but I try to keep it respectful. Like I try to like, if it's funny, like if I'm like trying to, if I'm doing crowd work with somebody and I'm just observing their thing, I won't try to like dig deep or like really try to fuck.
He's
with
lying.
them.
Make them
He's
feel
lying.
bad.
What do you mean I'm lying?
He's lying.
What do you mean I'm lying?
You've
You
seen
call
it?
everyone out.
I call everyone out.
Yeah,
but
there
I'll
was
do it
someone-
in a
there was
loving
this
way.
Reds.
No, there was this one show where
Oh, so
there was
then you
a
know what
couple sitting in the front.
I like this. So you're gonna tell them what you wanted me to
I
answer?
feel like now I'm in the middle of a thing.
That's hilarious. So you're like, let me
Listen,
set you up with this, even though I thought about the
Yeah.
thing that you were
I mean,
thinking of.
I'm
but I
kind
wanna
of the
say story.
representative
Wait,
at
but
this
now,
point.
I want
this.
to hear the story.
I do too, because
So
I don't even know.
I'm an observer, you know this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
observe
we're
quietly from the back, and usually in the shows
I
that he
observe
does the
loudly from
room.
the front. That's what I do.
Well, you obviously loudly, me quietly in the back. We need a healthy balance.
It's good.
And there was this one show where I was sitting in the back in the Improv in Doral, and he was like talking to this couple in the front. It was this older couple, and the guy was from Naples. He was saying he was here like on a work trip, and he was with his girl,
Oh, yeah.
and he exposed them, basically saying like, "Oh, is this your Miami girl, and you have another girl back at home?"
Well, I mean, I said that.
Oh,
because
look at
that
him!
was-
Look at his face.
If the guy was but this guy was offended, because if he was offended,
Nah,
then
he
Not
wasn't
offended, but
that was
very
for sure the
quiet.
situation.
Very quiet.
And
But I
that's
said
because
that-
that's probably the
Well,
truth.
I was doing.
though.
I was in between.
That's why I get
thing.
so nervous with crowd work.
You put yourself in
but
the
I like
middle
to
of
put
a
myself
thing.
But
in a
he
position.
likes igniting the fire.
Gotta, but I don't do it in a
Especially
way
if
that
he's
like.
from Naples, that's his sugar baby. Was she young?
No, I was like having fun with it. Like I did make little jokes and stuff, and they already were like, "Oh, okay, cool." He's like in on the joke. He's funny. He's making fun of himself because you gotta put yourself down to also be able to make fun of somebody. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be able to make fun of yourself.
You gotta rank on
first,
yourself.
and then you can start making fun of other people. And like I try to think of this mentality, like Andrew Schultz, for example, or like these other great comedians. Like they have this podcast called Flagrant, but apart from Flagrant, they're also like are able to like, you know, everybody's getting these jokes. So I'm not trying to be not on some like anti-cancel culture shit, but on some like I just want to make sure that you know that if I'm making a joke about you, or if I'm making fun of you, or if I'm roasting you, or doing crowd work with you, it's still coming from a place of like, yo,
I'm
I
humble,
got shit
yeah.
that I'm like,
That's fucked up, yeah.
I'm exposing myself in the rawest form here. So I'm just trying to like fuck with you just as well, just like I'm messing with myself. I'm messing with you, and don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And if it gets like an uncomfortable reaction, I'll have something for it. Like if I say a joke that I know is gonna get some sort of uncomfortable reaction, I'll have something for it that will like make them come back again quickly, or at least I try to. Like
You snap quickly.
Yeah.
From topic to topic.
If it goes like,
Yeah.
if it goes
And you
wrong.
can read the crowd. Like, you'll see their expression. You'll see
but
it,
for
and
that
then you know where
couple
to pick it up.
specifically, that was definitely the situation.
Yeah, I was in the back cringing. I
But
was
they
like,
were cringing.
"Ooh."
People were laughing, I think.
Yeah, the people
around them, but
people
they were not.
around them.
People saw it as a
Bro,
joke,
because you
but
know,
this
because I was like
couple,
digging, so I'm like asking questions and I'm making jokes in between the questions, and then I was like, "How do y'all know each other?" And then the energy was so awkward, like with her.
Exactly.
Maybe if it was like a first date, imagine it's probably like
No, they
not
said they were
first date.
together for 6 years.
Really?
Yeah,
It was a
dude.
sugar baby.
But the girl
then.
knew that. The lady knew. No, so not
No,
sugar.
no,
She was, like,
sugar
older,
baby.
too. But I felt like the vibe. I was like, oh, she's like uncomfortable because like some shit's up. But I have to call it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't
I mean,
let the
crowd
energy
work,
be
I'm not
awkward.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
As someone that goes to comedy shows, I love crowd work. That's why I sit in the back, so I'm not a victim of that. I la mosca.
No, it's a big ass bug.
I like sitting in the back because I enjoy seeing that from afar. But my advice to you guys is if you go to a comedy show and you do not want to be exposed,
Sit in the
sit
back.
far away in the back.
Far, far, far away.
So you think I exposed them?
Definitely, you expose them.
I mean,
what's
if
gonna
they
happen? They're
acted
in Miami.
awkward,
The
They're in
Naples lady-
Miami. Don't go to a comedy show in Miami.
The Naples lady wasn't there, so it's not like they.
Oh,
It's not like they
God.
recorded the show.
Damn,
all
yeah.
good.
If they got awkward for that, there has to be someone else in the picture.
I don't know if there has to be somebody else, but I think it's like
Like, why would he?
I
get
don't know.
awkward?
I think it was that, but I really don't know what was happening. Like I was like at one point I was like, this guy is holding this lady hostage. Like somebody call the police. Like it was.
Yeah,
that.
he literally told the lady, blink twice if you need help.
But I mean, that's a tool. I do that all the time. Like if someone
It's
feels
funny.
Wait,
It's
you
funny, but
told her
because
that you
yeah,
said
yeah,
somebody- Yeah,
yes,
because if
guys.
someone's like awkward and I'm just talking to you,
He's like,
like,
"Wait, are you
I'm not
good?"
doing this to like rank.
Look
on
at how
your
he's
life.
smiling talking about it. He loves it.
Because it's funny. I've always been that way. Even when I was in high school, I would always try to find, like, I've always been like, wait, what did I do? You know?
Yeah.
And I would like try to like make it like, because I want to get to some shit that's gonna make you uncomfortable. That is funny, but I want to just see like kind of how you react. I've just been like así de jodedor since I was a kid. Honestly, with my family, with my mom, with my sister, with everybody. With her, I do that all the time, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah,
And,
I'm one of his victims.
yeah, pero I don't know. I think it's fun, and it's like
I
good to be
provide
able to,
great
like,
content.
Yeah.
I enjoy being able to like, I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable when I'm up there, but I'm trying to make you like, be real with yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to be funny about it and like let your like I don't know.
The
I think it's
truth,
a cool
the
connection.
truth itself is funny.
Yeah.
It's memorable. I
Truth
feel
and
like
comedy.
if you're ranking on someone in the crowd, it's memorable. Like
I think so,
they'll go
too.
home with them. They're gonna think
Exactly.
about that.
Or if the crowd is ranking on the comedian, like it also.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
now
could
that
go
we're
either way.
Exactly.
yeah, now since we're talking about shows, you recently had your show, which we recorded, your
I did.
special,
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
Thing. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to come up with that name and
Okay.
what it was about?
Okay. Honestly, I've been like working on my material. I've started stand-up like almost, I think 4 years ago, literally March 2019. Because I was doing improv, like I said, for a minute, and I was like, I was doing shows and a bunch of like, just a lot of improv and sketch that was not even online. It was very like in this tiny theater called Just the Funny in Croway. And it was like just very tightly knit, and all I did was that forever. So like once I like put myself in stand-up, it was like being in private school and then going to a public school. Really, that's how I felt like. And then because you're just like, you're going to bars, you're going to like this tiny little ass like fucking garage where they're doing an open mic on like on Tuesday at 8:30. Like it's very specific things that you're doing when you're doing stand-up, and I still do a lot of those rooms to work out my material. But yeah, so once I got out there in 2019, I was like, I was trying, I had stuff written, but it was not really that good when you start. You're squeezing like the toothpaste and like the crusty parts coming out. So I've been working, honestly, the material that I'm doing or that I did at that show, I've been working on the oldest jokes on that, like since I want to say like November of 2020 that I started. Like I was just through the pandemic, I didn't really do stand-up or perform. Like I was just like at home.
So you recycle these jokes?
Not recycled. I just wrote a lot of these jokes. Well, that's just like, if I've done stand-up for technically 4 years, but technically 3 years, because like for a whole year. I didn't
Technically
do it.
4, but
Nothing
technically.
But I
Yeah,
did
so
write
nice.
all throughout 2020. Like the joke about my dad, that I've like, that's been my closer for like, I want to say like a year and a half for sure. But I was like, and I close a lot of shows with that joke because it gets a big reaction. It's like, it's a joke that's made to be a closer. We're like a comedy where that.
Yeah.
And that joke specifically, like I've done that for about 2 years, but I've also had a lot of material that I've also been able to like keep on just writing.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, and growing from one, making it,
Exactly.
expanding it.
And one joke can be like one tiny thing.
But you can expand on it in different forms.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you get it becomes this huge thing that's like a whole theatrical piece like that specific joke is. But with this specific special or this hour, not sure where it's gonna end up or what's gonna happen with it, but I did record it with 3 cameras like you guys have it here. So that's all you really need at this point. No, but yeah, so I have this like joke that was actually inspired from like a story I had with one of my openers, Albie. We can touch on that later. But who I used to have a podcast with called Dr. Bros.
PTSD,
many of you may already know
that
him.
name.
It's all good. Shout out to Albie.
Shout out to Albie. We love you.
Bombed on the show. But it's all good. It happens. Love
he's
you.
great.
It's all good. Anyway, it was the thing about like he had just broken up with his girlfriend. And literally he was telling me like about like what happened. And I was like, dude, this is the best thing that ever happened to you, bro. And then I literally I was like, in that moment, like I noticed, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. saying this out loud. I'm like, oh, dude, this is just like how we deal with shit. Like as guys, like we are like the worst thing could be happening to you. I'm just like, dude, get over it. It's the best thing that ever happened to you. So around that title, I always wanted to make that joke work, and like I figured out a way to make that joke work. Really this hour was about me growing as like a dude that was 25, 26, and now he's 28, growing up. Like these 2 years are really fucking like insane when it comes to like growing up in general that I never really expected. So me growing up and like dealing with like all the things you deal with of like being single, all that stuff, doing things here and there, clubbing, doing all that stuff, living with your parents, moving out by yourself, that whole transition
it's life
thing,
changes.
It's like a thing that's like I enjoyed that I put myself through that, and then quitting my job or getting let go from my job, however we want to put it. And it was just like a job that I had for 7 years. I was doing like IT, like management information systems, like cybersecurity.
How miserable were you?
So, it was super miserable. But I was on another tip. Like I was just like doing the job during the day. Yeah. And I kind of hated it. And I would tell everybody that I hated it. And even when we went remote, like during the pandemic, like I hated it even more. And I got promoted during the pandemic where I was making more money, but was doing way more. So I was like, dude, I'm losing myself. Like this is like so sad. I can't.
That's so
I've worked so
to
hard to get to where I think I want to be, like doing comedy, that now I'm stuck here like on a fucking Monday night trying to fucking connect, so make sure that like AT&T is connected to the fucking like all this. Like
there's no purpose there.
No, dude,
you gotta find your purpose. Honestly, you need to have your purpose in life.
Like,
good props to you.
No, not even. Like, it sucks. You know it sucks.
There's something you like.
Someone has to like it out
There's
there.
no one that should like it, though. If you think
there's
about
people
it.
that like
I studied
There's
IT
people that
and
like
I
it.
really sit down and I'm like, yo, how could you possibly legitimately like this?
Because you were born to be a comedian, a content creator.
I don't know whether I was or not. Like, I'm like, yo, these people are just expected to be robots, and robots will be taking their jobs in like literally 2-3 years.
What advice do you have for people who hate their job then, and maybe they're thinking of quitting, but
just quit and find your purpose.
Honestly,
that's what I did.
Legit. No, legit. Like I would always call it out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna quit.
Even if you don't know what you're gonna do, eventually you'll find your place.
It's a good way to reset.
To God you will. Like I was
you're wasting time still pushing yourself.
I was making like money. I was making like $100,000 a year with this thing, but I was super miserable. Legit.
What was that change like?
Yeah.
It was hard, dude. I was
gonna get there. I was like, wait, how do you make
well,
a
that
living?
was what I was saying with the special. Like it was like at first I was like, bro, I'm fucking gonna quit. I'm really gonna leave this thing. Like this is like it's remote. They don't even know. Like I could fucking be working from my house. Like I like just chilling. But then doing that was like, okay, you're gonna rip that Band-Aid, and now you're like legit a comedian. Because you can be a comedian that does IT from 9 to 6 p.m. Like it's just
you
not
gotta give it your all.
You gotta go all the way in. So that thing of like, I'm gonna put myself in the situation where I have to like comerme un cable literally while I have rent that I just moved out, that I wasn't paying for rent with my parents. Now I have to pay for rent, do all this shit. Like I was like, hey, let's see what happens.
So then you started.
And I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me, because I feel like I've never been more involved in my art, more involved in what I'm doing, more involved in like creatively and what I want to be doing.
It gave you more motivation and
of
more
course.
of a reason to hustle for
more of a reason
making
to hustle,
money as
exactly.
a comedian.
And to put myself out there in that light without feeling ashamed of even telling it. I used to be legit ashamed that I tell people I had a day job. Which is crazy.
I think it motivated you even more to
Yeah.
just want to keep pursuing and actually get somewhere with
Yeah.
it. Not just as in a local level, but your dreams all of a sudden just explode and become
That
so
much
much
more.
bigger.
Of course, you wanted to.
And you had all your attention to this, so that makes such a difference.
Of course, because
And-
you can't focus on all
that
these,
and your
you can
job
pretend
too
to,
much.
but
Yeah.
it's just if you're doing this 24/7, legit, I
Yeah.
feel so much better and healthier and happier, and then like bringing her into like that cycle of it all like really did make things a lot better for me because I felt
Yeah.
like I wasn't just like alone doing this, like trying to figure it out. Like I had like a partner that was able to like support me and help me through it.
Yeah,
So
so we're gonna get to that partner situation.
Sure.
I'm sure a lot of people out there are wondering, because I'm wondering, how do comedians make a living?
by people buying tickets to our shows. So
So
And
you
buying
have
merch.
to perform at these shows.
what? Of course.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck do you think?
Wait, hold on.
Nah,
Nah. We just I
I mean,
just wanted to
social
buy
media.
tickets.
No,
not really necessarily, because you
What do
could
you
be a
mean?
comedian on social media.
That's not a comedian.
No, what is that?
I don't define
Content
that to be a
creator?
comedian. That's a
funny
content creator. A content creator,
A
correct.
funny one.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Like I'm not gonna say I don't respect
So
like
so
people
it's
that
not
I-
a comedian.
I don't consider somebody that only does funny content online. Like they just do skits or like do like a little reaction video. Like I don't consider you to be a comedian if you haven't like stood up in front of a stage at a bar and tried jokes in front of people that do not want to hear jokes, and you're just kind of like, because I feel like there's method like, dude, I respect. I've become that guy, so like I have to be
Yeah.
respectful of it, but I do not. I don't think there's like you shouldn't be able to call yourself a comedian if you haven't gone through the fucking ringer, because it's good to do that. You wanna fucking go through the ringer. It's not the same to get 12 likes on a thing because you're trying out to be a comedian, and then you have like a big following because you followed a trend and you just became really knowledgeable on Instagram or TikTok and
videos
you're
went
following a
viral.
trend, etc.
Yeah.
Than to go out and perform in front of 12 people that half of them don't want to hear you, 2 of them are drunk, 3 of them are tourists that don't even speak English. So like, it's very different to have that than to be like, well, I got 12 likes, but eventually I'll get to 1,200. Like, it's not the same thing, in my opinion.
And do you feel like those who are like funny online cannot be funny in front
Oh,
of
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
a crowd?
I've seen it happen.
Really?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. I know I mean, like I said, I respect it and I love it. But if you do it, I think if you, because this is what everybody does now. Like everybody that has a following, everybody, whether you are literally someone that posts videos online or somebody that was on Bravo and now they're making you do stand up because your agents were like, hey, you should do stand up to get some money and somebody could get 10-15% of that. So any of that, or like a podcast, like let's say they would, like whenever this does go super heavily viral, which it will, let's put it out there, like they would like, and you get agents, there's gonna be people that might be like, hey, you should do a show at like the Improv and sell it out. But you guys, like you're you know, like you're funny
Yeah.
obviously, but you're not comedians and you didn't like
Yeah,
go
we're
through the
not
ringer
clowns.
to do that to
Like,
like
we're
get
not
there.
clowns.
No, it's okay. Like but we're professional clowns.
exactly,
So like when
exactly.
you're online or you're somebody that's like doing TikToks, etc., to then they're like, yo, like your manager, your agent is like, yo, let's book the Improv. You'll sell it out. You might sell it out because you have a really good following, but if you don't have the chops, then you're gonna tank, and your audience that like loves you, it's gonna be like, oh, this guy kind of sucks. Like he's kind of like it's like he's fake. Like it's like not the same thing. But if you work hard at it, like and actually take the art form seriously, and you're like, you are doing the content, but like maybe not every night, but every night, one night out of the week, you're up trying to like do material. You're writing every other day. You're actually
You're studying
putting
the art,
You're
basically.
you're actually doing it. Then I fully respect it. But there are people that I'm like, that yeah, you're making money on Instagram, or you're making money on this, or you're making money on that, and you figured it out, and I fully respect it. Like, it's funny because now I'm trying to do that too. Like I find myself doing that and following trends and doing this. What's gonna go viral? What's this? But at the core, like, if you're not able to deliver on stage and you're not able to deliver to strangers, then I don't think it's like the same feeling, or like you're getting 2 different experiences when you're seeing
So
somebody
you'll
that's like
be-
an online comedian, as
So
you
a
call
digital creator, basically,
digital creator.
versus a comedian.
it. Yeah, I think so. There's like no, I feel like that was so beefy, but I mean no hate to nobody that does either or.
I think in your case, both of
Yeah.
those things come together to help you because
Of course.
the reason why you do so
your
well
brand.
in your
You build your
shows and you
brand.
sell out is because you're putting yourself out on social media.
That's
as well.
what I'm saying. Like if
So
I'm
it works.
extremely blessed to be where I am because I like somehow figured out something to like help me get a following
Yeah.
to do that.
And
In
balance
retrospect, there's also people that are fucking hilarious that you've never heard of that only have 2,000 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? So you gotta be now as a comedian, you gotta be both. Like
have to
you,
be on all
there's no way
platforms.
you can't do both. What I'm saying is that if you are an online creator and all you're doing is online content, try and you are going to do stand up or sell out a show where you're saying you're gonna do stand up. Practice the form, go out there, do the little shows, whether you think you're too big, let your ego down. Because the number one thing as a comedian, your ego has to be stripped away from you to get to the rawest and truest form of you, to be the funniest form of you. But, you know, if you are an online creator, you're most likely making more money than a comedian, for sure. So, like, if you are putting yourself out there and you have brand deals and you have all this stuff, you're 1,000%. I mean, look at Lele Pons, for example. That she just
Yeah.
does
Oh my
funny
God, yeah.
content.
She's
And
started
she's
buying.
legitimately a hilarious Spencer. I've met her. Like, she's dope. But that I know of, I don't think she's ever done stand-up or put herself out there.
Yeah.
But
She's online.
she's an online creator. Like, she has brand deals with whoever she wants to work with, she will work with. And that's because she put herself out there. And every day she posted a piece of content that was whether 10 seconds or 6 seconds back in Vine, like whatever it was, you put yourself out there, that's still working. You're working towards your craft in that sense. And you make money on that sense too. You make a lot of money online
yeah.
in comparison to the tickets that you have.
So those creators who do those little skits,
Yeah.
there will be actors then, right?
Yeah,
You would
I
see them
mean,
as
yeah.
in the category of actors, not necessarily comedians.
Honestly, it's such a like I didn't mean like the whole like that whole rant that I
No,
just
but
went
it's
on for no
interesting
reason.
because I'll be like, oh, he's a comedian. like,
Yeah,
or
which is
whatever,
fine, but
like-
that's the world we live in. Like it's
Yeah.
just like
We just
you just
take
consider
it.
anybody that's funny online a comedian, and that's okay. And I think that's fair. I'm just saying that from the perspective of somebody that maybe it's not gonna happen to like after this generation. Like there's not gonna be that many people that like went out and did open mics or as much because they just will put it online, and if it
Yeah,
fucking
that's
works,
it.
then let
It
it
goes
work.
viral and you sell
That's
it to
way
companies.
easier. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I wish I had that like 3-4 years ago when I started. Like I would have like really pumped that much more like
Yeah,
content like
especially
I try to do
nowadays.
now.
Yeah.
But I do think like it's such a like blurred line at this point. Like everybody that does skits, everybody that's funny. Like this dude Drewski, for example, love this dude. He's hilarious, makes content. He's been making content forever, and now he's selling out theaters and shows. And he's never really done stand up, but the way that his personality is well enough that he can defend himself on stage and go out there, bring people up, make it a whole experience that I fully respect that. So now he's making money from like Live Nation, Ticketmaster, all these big ass theaters where he like has been able to garner that much of a fan base. And also garner all the different like sponsorships he has, whether it's Mountain Dew or whatever
Yeah, the
is that
brands.
sponsors him too. So like when you're able to combine that, bro, it's like
Yeah, which
Kiss
that's
me.
another huge factor. All these comedians, if they know how to do it right,
Yeah.
if you get the right sponsors, you can really make some good money from these shows.
So-
it's not
Yeah.
just the ticket
So
sales.
sponsors, shows, Instagram, Facebook. I got paid
Merch,
from
social
them.
media,
Merch for sure. Yeah, every single thing. Podcast, comedians.
takes a
I have my own
village, it
podcast,
truly
Carlos
does.
Live as well. We make money from that. You know, not now, but like whenever we keep
Yeah.
on growing and growing, just like you
Consistent,
guys. Like you know, you go out, you put money into
Different
it.
avenues, basically.
Invest in
Okay.
yourself, be good at it, and then or you get hired by Lorne Michaels
Yeah.
by SNL, and then you
And
made
then
it in
you
that
made
sense,
it,
like
yeah.
Marcelo.
I think it comes down to consistency as a
Yeah.
comedian. If you're
Yeah.
not consistent with it, there's no way you're
And
gonna grow
hustling,
get that
building a
fame.
brand. I
Of course,
think
and
that's
if you
huge.
don't find like not what I'm saying with that is that if there's ways to make money for yourself now that before it was like,
Yeah, you
damn,
couldn't
dude,
do
I
it.
have
You-
to
you would-
audition
yeah.
for. Like I said, Saturday Night Live, or like you'll go on a cruise and be a cruise comic, or you'll like
Yeah.
hopefully be seen by somebody that's an HBO producer that will put you in 5 seconds of I don't know
Or
some
just do it
show
for fun and
on
have
The
another
Wire
job.
and be an extra, and then like
Yeah.
you get more exactly, or you make it a hobby and don't take it as
And
seriously.
that's it.
Well, yeah.
And when a comedian takes the stage and they flop, which we've seen that happen recently.
Oh God, it's coming.
That's
Does
No.
it become like a traumatizing experience? Like how, or you could get back right on it and do it
Honestly,
again?
the way that like I see it is if you bomb on one night, you might fucking kill on the next night. Like honestly.
Like, really?
Yeah, that's how it works. Like bombing is a part of the art. That's why like when I'm talking about like these online creators, you have to bomb to get good. You have to hear no laughter to know like fuck I can't use that joke. So I think when you bomb, like you bomb one night, the next night you might kill, the next night you might kill, the next night you might bomb. Like it's just part of the art form, and you're never like fucking Jerry Seinfeld can still bomb. Like not really.
You can have a bad night.
Actually, probably not, just because everybody's like, oh, Seinfeld's here.
Yeah.
But I've seen like comedians that I love and adore. I'm like, yo, this is like not funny. Like, what's happening? But you have to do that. Like, as a comedian, you think, oh shit, this is hilarious. I've had thoughts that I'm like, yo, this is gonna kill, and it bombs on stage.
Yeah.
Like, it just does not work.
They can disappoint.
It also depends on the crowd. The crowd is never the same.
That's true.
Well, yeah, that too. It
You have
depends. If
locals
the crowd's
mixed.
not feeling you, or
And
like
if
you
you're
have like,
featuring for another comedian that's not the same style as you, and
That's also
they
true.
have their fans there, it might not work out for you the same way.
That's true.
'cause
The fan
he
base
has-
changes based on the
he
Literally.
has
jokes and the
his fan
personality.
base,
That's
and then
crazy.
There's someone, you know, like Anisha, for example, who has her fan base, and they might not relate to anything he has to say. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that what he's saying is not funny.
Yeah.
They just can't relate to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So if you, yeah. So I think when you bomb, it makes you stronger, and you have to bomb. I recommend bombing first.
Yeah.
No, I don't recommend bombing, but like you gotta put yourself out there to just like in life, you gotta fail to be
To
better
fail
and
the
learn.
test.
So
Yeah.
you're literally like it's the most pure version of that. You're literally failing in front of a bunch of people, seeing if it works. Ideally, you try it in the bars, in these like little spots, to see like, okay, this is not gonna work. I'm not gonna try it at the improv in front of 350 people.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, you know your
But
templates.
like you gotta figure it out, and then like eventually things they work themselves out, and you'll start killing with that material, or you'll know to not do that material if it's not working.
Gotcha. Now, before we move on from the comedy topic,
Okay.
one more for you.
Ask me.
You were on American Idol as Judy's Bill, this
I was.
character
The
that
love
you
of my
made.
life.
I know.
Yeah, and then we're gonna transition to that story.
That's hilarious.
but
I like how you're like, this is the transitional
this
piece.
is a transitional.
This
piece.
is crowd work, basically. in
Yeah.
this- in this
Now,
scenario.
I want to know why. Why did you go on that show? Why did you build this character?
Who is Yuri's Bill?
Yuri's Bell is just, he's just like a dude that just came from Cuba. He was like out here, went to Miami-Dade College, like,
I love
but he
him.
never like signed up for it. He just goes there, like hangs out there. And like, he's just like un recién llegado type of dude, but like he's like a super lovable dude because he's like a golden retriever. He's like that Cuban like cousin that you talk to like every 3 years, and you're like, hey,
So
Damian.
from your crowd work, you made this character. It's
No.
persona,
I made this
no?
character because I was doing improv. So Yuri's Bell was actually like born as a character that I was doing like while I was doing improv in Just the Funny. We had this game called Love Machine, where it was a game like we had to create characters, and then this was just a character. I was like, this is the simplest version of anything I'm gonna do. It's like Miami as hell.
Yeah.
And it was just like 3 characters. So it was like me, 2 other people that were playing characters, and then we'd bring an audience member, probably a woman, on stage. She would be blindfolded, and then she would ask us 3 questions. Like, they'd ask her like, "Oh, what do you want to ask the bachelors that are behind you?" And it was like we would all be dressed weird as fuck, and it was like we had intro music. Like I would come out to like Gente de Zona. I would say that I was like the 4th member of Gente de Zona that quit before they became famous. Like I had this like whole storyline for
thing,
this
yeah.
guy that was just like for like a 3-minute thing. And
why did you decide to take him to American Idol?
well, because it was the pandemic and I was bored.
That's the truth.
That is kind of the truth though. Like I had a friend that was a casting producer for the show, and then he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, like I'm casting the show. Like it's weird this season. Like we're like only remote. Like so, if you have anything you want to do that's like funny or you think you could do, like let me know. Like maybe you can sing and you're bad, or like let's figure something out." Because I met him here and he knows that like I did improv and I do stand up and I did like musical improv as well. And I had this character that I had built like in 2017 when I was telling you. And then after like a week, I was like, yo, I think, what about this? And then I sent them like
The idea.
videos of
Yeah.
like when I used to be doing that game, Love Machine. And he was like, oh, that could work. Let's see. And then I had like a mock audition with him while he was like on Zoom. He lives in LA. And I just did the audition and I was Yuri's Bell, like, which is like just like literally like this like golden retriever of a human that's like, hey, que hola, todo el
Yeah.
mundo, eh. Everything is like a party. Everything is, he's like unaware, like Michael Scott in The Office, of how cringy he's being, but it's not cringy because he doesn't care that it's cringy.
And
So
how-
like that's
How
what
did you
that is.
feel? Like,
How did I
that?
feel? Well, I mean, I went on Idol. It was
Yeah.
2020. It was like November of 2020, and I filmed like the first round. And I literally went with Albie actually, who was like my fake manager, because I was like, I can't take my
Fake
parents. I
manager.
can't take. I'm not gonna like do. You could only take one person.
If you guys don't know, I'll be another comedian.
Yes, he's a comedian. Albie Dominguez.
Who flopped.
Check him out. It's all right. Whether he's. Hey, listen. See, Albie bombed on my show. I'm okay with saying it. He's okay
On
with
his
admitting
show,
it.
man.
It was
He's
on
okay.
purpose.
He's okay. It was probably not, but it was like he just did it, and it
A bad
happens,
day. He
bro.
had a
Once
bad
you
day.
bomb, you move on. It's all right, dude. I've bombed before. Everybody bombs. Point is, Albie, whatever. Me and Albie, we went on because it was just online. I did the audition in front of these like executive producers of Idol on Zoom. After I did the mock, he was like, "You got to do this. It's hilarious." Went on. And then they're like, "All right, we're gonna fly you to see Katy Perry, Lionel Richie," and I was like, coño, let's see, whatever. I just had this whole fake life that I created.
Which
and
they didn't know.
they didn't know it was
anything
fake. I
about.
literally
Okay,
was
okay,
just
okay.
dressed.
Only the casting directors, all the people behind
Exactly.
the scenes. Okay.
Only the casting director, my friend.
Only your
The
friend.
other people didn't know. No one else behind the scenes knew. So I was like filling out applications as Yulisbel Garcia with a fake birth date just for them to not connect it to. Even though I looked exactly the same, I didn't do anything crazy or like
Yeah.
change my look. I just put glasses, a chain, and a like flowery shirt,
Yeah.
or like a diamond filled
Versace.
shirt. Like really,
They
that's
give me,
really
like, Versace
yeah.
vibes.
It's just like a Hialeah dude that like
Yeah.
goes to like a club in Coral Gables. Like that's just like
Yeah.
the idea of what this character was, whatever. So I took it to the show, and I went with Albie, who played my fake manager, and I just had to be this character on and off camera because I couldn't like
Lose character.
I couldn't.
Normal. Yeah.
Well, not just
I mean,
because
allies
if
were
they
on you.
found out,
Yeah.
I didn't know what would happen. So I just like went on, I did it, and it was just because he was like, "Yo, I need this moment," and then it became this whole thing that he was just kind of gave me an opportunity in a sense. Like I think this could be cool, just to do him a favor, and then it turned into this whole thing. I went on the show, was in front of like. I was there for 2 weeks because it was during COVID. I did a fake COVID test as Yudi's bed. Not fake, it was a real COVID test, but
Yeah,
I literally put
under
Yudi's
his
bed.
name.
Yeah, I don't know how I got away with it, but
that
it
legal?
came back negative, so that's good. I don't know if it's legal, but I did it. And then we went on the whole show. It was great. And then I was in front of the judges, performed Fireball by Pitbull, and it was just like a wrap from there. I was in the audition room for 30 minutes talking to these people. I felt like I was just doing improv
Yeah.
with them because I was in character. So I was just like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, my grandma, she was a singer in Cuba, and now I'm trying to be a singer." I had this whole storyline that I
Yeah.
just like let that little like, seed of a character just grow into whatever it was gonna become, and then they passed me on to the next round just because like. I don't know, it was that silly or that stupid or whatever.
was
It was.
That they
it was
passed you.
that good.
Well, you saw the episode. That's how.
So
that's how you like.
now we're gonna make this transition here. This girl right here, you like those TV
Look at my eyes,
shows.
they're
I know
glowing.
her eyes are glowing. She's
Oh
ready
my
for it.
God.
She saw this character, guys, as she was watching American Idol.
I'm a true
right?
American Idol.
And she remembered this character, like it just stayed in her mind. And then one day she's at Blackbird.
Yeah, so I remember watching him on the season, and I was so excited when he made it through. When they gave him the golden ticket, I was like, yes, I get to see him again. Like, this is the one Miami contestant. He's so good. He sang Fireball. He got down and
She was
dirty with it.
bamboozled.
I was bamboozled.
He got down in there.
I did not know that Yuris Bale was a character that was made up. I thought it was.
No idea.
I even followed him on Instagram, and I was in a relationship at the time. That's how in love with Yuris Bale I was. I was just like, oh
Bro.
my god, like this guy's perfect, and he has a legit Instagram. Like
He does.
he
Yuris
has
Bell
a legit
305.
Instagram.
Follow
There
Yuris
was
Bell
no way
305.
of me knowing that it was
A
fake, and I
person,
didn't
yeah.
really follow Only in Date at the time. That's the only way I would have known about Carlos.
Wow.
So I didn't really know Carlos existed. I just knew
Yeah.
Yuris Bale.
It'll be
So
like
I
falling in
followed
love
him.
with a fake persona. This is the name of this
Yeah,
reel.
that shit's
no, I was
crazy.
catfished.
So
So
No, you weren't. You fell for it.
whatever. And then a year later,
So was America. America was.
America loved him. I was so upset when he didn't make it through the second round, but he made it to Hollywood, so that's all that matters. And fast forward a year later, I went to Blackbird and I see him, and I'm like, oh my god! I turned to my best friend Mary, and I'm like, I think that's Yuris Bale from American Idol. And I was probably really red. I was so nervous. I felt all the butterflies. I was like,
But you were dressed normal, like
I was
right?
dressed like.
Yes-
well, I was wearing
yes
like a
and
Marlin.
no.
It was like. Okay, I was wearing a Marlins shirt
But it was like
because
open,
it was
and he had his gold chain.
yeah,
so
but it was
looked like
it was
Yudis Bell.
something at Blackbird that I was like, it was my our friend Idi's
Perreíto
Perreíto
night.
night that it was
Okay.
like wear your jersey. So I was looking very Miami.
Yeah.
So I was like, it
She
could have
was-
been Yudis
yeah,
Bell,
she
really.
could
If I had
pick
to,
that up.
and I
Well,
masked,
I thought it was.
I probably was wearing sunglasses at that point, or probably not.
I don't know, but he was dancing, like
I was
doing
doing
his
my
like
thing,
hip
bro.
thrust, the famous hip thrust. We can
to
insert
you.
that right here. And
Yeah, insert it
I
right
built
there.
the courage. I built right here. I built the courage to go up to him, and I was like, "Oh my God, aren't you Yudis Bell from American Idol?" And he literally put his glasses down. He's like, "No, I'm Carlos." I was like,
From only in the. No, I'm kidding.
"Who the hell is Carlos?" Like,
Bro, yeah.
whatever, and the rest is history. But
And
honestly,
then wait,
But what does
how
that
did you
say?
make the connection? You told him it's like Judy's Bell is a fake character. Like, well, how
yeah,
did,
he
how did
explained.
you
Well,
find
yeah,
out?
the
I
music
honestly
was
don't-
loud. We were drinking, and he told me the whole story.
Well,
And I
I was
remember
just-
just being like,
Yeah, it's like I told her Santa was not real. Like
It-
it was.
yeah, it was so
I felt
sad.
like I felt
and
like
you
I
want to
told
know
her.
the saddest part? To this day, he has not brought out Yudis Bell for me.
No, you haven't put the shirt
I
and
don't know,
dance
bro.
sexy for her.
I haven't at all.
No, you haven't. Don't
There's
act.
been versions of that. You have when I did the parade in the Gables or Grove.
That was not Yudis Bell. That was un rey.
That was Yudis
Un
Bell.
rey. Eso era un rey.
It was still Yudis Bell. No, but I think it's hilarious. The funniest part about the story is that why was she attracted to this thing?
Yeah, that's honestly,
What does that say about my girlfriend that she was attracted to a walsero ass dude?
honestly, I'm confused about that too.
That's the thing that gets me the most.
Listen.
I'm like, so wait, hold on a
Jen
second.
has known me for a while. My taste. I do not discriminate. I was so
doesn't
attracted.
discriminate.
And you were so talented. Like your moves really
Bro,
got me.
also I was not talented. Like I literally was passed through because I didn't know how to sing, dude. The whole point is that I
feel
didn't know how
sorry
to
for
sing.
you.
I
Like-
sang like this. Ah, da, 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 da. I literally said da 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 instead of letting the song go da 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 da. I did da 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 in Fireball.
It was
so
so
the fact.
good.
So I clearly didn't sing well. I had my belly out, like doing like I had my belly like really tucked in, so you
I
could see
loved
my
it.
belly even more. And when I jiggled, it was even funnier
It
because
was
like
perfect.
all for comedy.
And then he got on his knees and he did this move, and I was like, "What?"
Dude, but
the
it was all
hell?
supposed to be just silly and just like kind of embarrassing myself, but I was doing it through the character, so
But
that's
that's
why
what
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But I didn't sing well. So the fact that she was rooting for me is hilarious. That I,
I
was
just
gonna
loved
sing.
it. I thought he was so real, and I was just like, "Wow, how courageous of him to go on a show like American Idol."
You're so
And
gullible.
What a beautiful thing.
really, like the confidence level was just so attractive.
Confidence. I think
How
it's the
beautiful though
confidence.
that the fakest person there was the most real that it could be. Think about that.
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna
You
lie.
Because in
left-
reality show,
you
people are
left an
fake as
impact.
hell.
You
Dude.
left an impact. To this day, I love Yudis Bell way more.
Way more than me.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yudis
He's a
Bell
lovable
was
person.
what-
She's a fake person.
we are here because of Yudis Bell.
That is honestly, that is true. Thank you, American Idol, for
That
letting
is
this thing
Yeah,
happen.
insane.
and he
Isn't
actually.
that wild?
What's wilder is that he keeps up with the character.
What do you mean I keep up with the
You
character?
bring out the character sometimes.
Once in a while, yeah.
Once in a while. So
Yeah,
why
I
don't you
let
tell
him
us a
I
little
let
bit
him like
about
I
that?
like he
Like tell us
hibernates.
about your famous song Abuelita.
Okay, yeah, I keep the character alive. He had a history. Like once
He's
the character
an
went
artist.
in, like
He's an artist.
yeah, he has his own Spotify. He have 4
He
songs on there.
does have a
Yeah,
spot.
I have songs I've never even posted.
use his songs on Instagram.
Huh?
You can search up Yudis Bell on Instagram and use the songs.
You can, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
you can.
I've used his Abuelita song for the pedicures in the salon sometimes.
Multiple times, yeah. There's a song about grandma because I said on the show that I had a well, my grandma was literally a singer in Cuba, so that part is true. She still is. She's not alive. She's still alive. She's not dead. But she is. She still sings, but not professionally. And I just was like, okay, what could I make a song about? Because Josh, the producer, was like, we got to keep on building this guy's career and brand. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to do stand-up and improv, but okay, I'll work on this Marcelo's career.
You brought him out in one of your comedy shows. Not
I
too
bring
long
him out all
ago.
the time. I didn't bring him out on this last one because I wanted to just make it focus on stand-up and recording my hour and stuff. But when I do Carlos Live, which is like kind of like the version of this podcast in a very specific, not this podcast, but
podcast.
it's like a talk show or whatever. He's the musical guest and performs like Vikina, who's been on here. She was a musical guest once, and I featured with her. I sang like Pitbull's part of a song when she that borracha song. My boy JC has been on it. DJ Lass has been on it, and I like feature. Julie's Bell even has a song with DJ Lass called We Gon' Bone. and it's pretty fun. We gon' bone.
You see, like
What the heck? That's so
I'm
Yeah.
funny.
speechless. My current dream right now, and I
Yeah.
am manifesting this. I'm gonna put this out into the universe.
What is the dream?
I want to do a makeup tutorial with Yuri's
On
Bill.
Yuri's
What? But
Yeah.
what would the makeup be?
I want Yuri's Bill to do my makeup.
Oh, for me to do your for
Yeah.
Yuri's
No,
Bell to do
not
your
you.
It's
makeup.
gonna be a good
Yuri's
one.
Bill.
Yuri's Bill, not Carlos.
So Yuri's Bell has to like, okay, we have the
Exactly.
palette,
We have
we
a
have.
contour. We're gonna put it on the
Yo,
face right now.
I'm down.
That is right. You see, I'm manifesting it, and it's happening.
I'm
That is
down.
my
I wanna
dream.
see it.
You're not just
I wanna
mad. You're
see
just
it.
telling me.
Yeah,
Like
you're
as your
telling me.
boyfriend, you
Pretty
could just be
much,
like, yo,
yeah.
let's do this, and I'll do it.
Now,
There's no manifestation when you're like,
You know
already-
what? Enough
Listen,
about this Yuri's
I'll
Bill
ask
talk.
her boyfriend. Ask her boyfriend.
Yeah.
How did you know it was time to retire as a perreo king?
I didn't. He's not retired, dude.
He's
This
not
guy's like
retired?
Kendrick Lamar, where like he'll don't do anything for 2-3 years, and then he'll come back with a fire
I'm
ass
waiting.
album.
I'm waiting.
So he might come back at any time. Right now, I'm just focused on Carlos. So like
Okay.
Carlos is like trying to do good things. Carlos is going to LA next week to like do a bunch of shows. Carlos is doing cool stuff, but Yuri's Bell, you never know what that man is working on. So like,
He's gonna come back.
stay. Stay alert because you never know when Fireball could come back.
I'm
honestly.
waiting. I'm
Mr.
waiting
786
so
is out there,
hard.
dude.
Listen, and
I'm
that's-
manifesting a Mr. 305 times Mr. 786 collab.
that tour that you have coming up,
The what?
the tour.
Oh, we're gonna call it a tour. Sure, let's call it a tour.
It is-
a
a tour.
comedy tour. Yeah.
Sure.
You're gonna go. You have different places you're gonna be at.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm gonna
happens
go to
when you
LA.
quit your job. You
Yeah,
have the
so-
freedom to do this.
That is honestly true. That
What?
is-
Why? Where did the idea come from to just like, hey, let's go to LA. Let's.
Oh,
do
I mean
some
that's
shows
just
in
that's
LA.
a
It was
very-
me. It was my
It's a
idea.
very
Coachella's
taking
coming
credit?
up, so I was like,
We're not
let's
even
ride
going
to
to
LA. I know,
Coachella.
I know. I'm just kidding. I
But
wish with you.
no,
Yuri's Bill.
nothing. I mean that's a very normal thing for comedians. Like I
Really?
go to you.
Go
You
to
kind of are like
different
trying to like.
So not stay local. You could like branch out.
Of course, you don't
I
want
know.
to just be like the.
Local
I don't want to
crowds.
just be the Miami guy or the
Okay.
Miami comic. Like,
He wants other
I-
fans. He's
I
tired
work-
of the Miami fans.
oh my God, don't say that. I love you guys, but
Don't say that. It's his number one.
Are you kidding me? No. I just I want to keep growing my comedy, my brand, my everything. I want to be able to keep on going out there. Like the dream of doing comedy is that you're able to tour the world while doing what you love in front of
Yeah,
people that love you.
And meeting so many people.
Exactly. So I want to be able to keep on traveling, and I'm blessed to have the platform that I have here to, solidify myself as a comedian here, and also be like, hey, listen, these are my credits, and then be able to get up in like legendary places that I would have never been able to like even dream of getting up unless I had done so much like groundwork in that city. But the fact the pandemic did wonders in that sense that like now you can kind of go anywhere, and because of your online presence or whatever does help, you're able to get up in really cool places. And yeah, I'm very excited. Going to LA, doing a week over there. Gonna be at the Improv and the Hollywood Improv, the Haha Club, at the Store, Laugh Factory, all these like dope ass places that it's my first time performing there and not doing improv but just doing stand up. So very, very excited about
This
that.
is at the end of March. When is
Yes.
it? At the end of March.
At the end of
Okay.
March. But
If you want more information on Carlos or Yuri's Bill, you can contact me, his assistant.
oh my
I'm also in
gosh.
charge
She
of all the
sounded
merch.
so
So
professional.
imagine
like,
that's hilarious.
If you are interested
Sounded
in
like a
becoming a
This is the
sponsor,
American dream, bro. If you're a fan of somebody that's not even a real person,
just
go
become
up
the
to them at that
assistant.
bar, bro. Because then
Go up
they
to-
could become your assistant.
I-
She also, my
A
girlfriend's not my
girlfriend.
assistant. She's helping me through it. She's really just kind of like it's like a partner. It's like J Lo and JC.
J Lo and Jay Z.
JC.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
an inside joke we have.
Oh, I was like.
Yeah. You don't get it. It's not like
I don't get
Beyonce and
It's
JC.
J Lo because we
J-Lo.
love J Lo, and Jay Z because he's just so powerful.
That's right. I don't really know why that's funny, but
It should have
Yeah.
been Taylor Swift.
what? No, she'll break up with Jay Z.
I don't even
You
it'll
think
be
Taylor
something in the
Swift would
first
break up with
place.
Jay Z? It's usually the other way around.
Yeah,
That's
they
what she
always break up
says,
with
like
her.
for material or like for like. the
Anyways,
songwriting.
if you're interested
I'm
in
just
becoming a
saying.
sponsor, we're always looking for sponsors.
Wait, Hero Confess It or Carlos?
No, for you, for
Everything.
Carlos. Well, for Confess It too, especially the microphone.
That is true. Let's get better mics for these girls, please.
Listen, it's all good. We're gonna work through it. Okay, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice I've ever been giving: quit
Yeah.
your job.
And from who?
Quit your
For
job.
Who gave you that advice?
I was always like I was always like holding on to it and shit. And it was honestly a comedian that I was opening for, at the Improv. We were talking. I was like still telling him, they're like, dude, just quit.
Yeah.
Just quit.
It's
Like, what's the
simple.
worst that could happen? Like, okay, you go back. Maybe if it didn't work out, like it is what it is. But you can't just hope for shit to happen. then you gotta cut the ties to like be able to let that butterfly fly or whatever we want to make it cute.
The cocoon.
The cocoon, yeah, you gotta get out of that cocoon.
You have to break through.
You gotta break through.
And any advice you would give to your younger self?
Any advice I would
Oh,
give to
we
my
love
younger-
his younger self. Tell us about your younger self, because we haven't really touched on that topic.
Listen,
What do you mean? This is the longest podcast I've ever done.
Too long. Go, girl.
I want to know everything about you.
You know everything
He can
about
tell you
me.
in private, but not
I
right
want
now.
it on
Everything.
tape.
Tell me what's the... Wait, I forgot where I left off.
She's like, I want to finish. Let's go.
Go. Me too.
Okay. What's the best advice you would give to your younger self?
Best advice I would. That's a great question. To not care so much what people think. I think even to this day, I care a lot about what people think, and I like put that at the forefront. But lately, I've been able to like kind of let that go a little bit. Like you gotta be able to be you in the rawest version of you, no matter how you look, whether you've gained weight, lost weight, feel like you are not looking good, feel like you're not feeling good, think that you bombed at your last show, so people think that you're not funny, or people like you gotta go out there with your best self at all times, no matter like how you feel, how you look like at that moment. Like just be you and let that you like penetrate anything, no matter what, how you look, how you feel, etc. So I would say to my younger self, don't worry about it. Like be out there, be funny. If you don't be so judgmental of yourself. Be you. Yeah. I think that it took a lot for me to like get to that like stage of like where
I think
I'm
it
at.
takes us a while. I feel like once we start hitting the late 20s, it's
Yeah.
like when we start
You're
getting
like, fuck
comfortable.
it.
And I just want to add that he's actually done a great job at helping me and believing in myself.
I thought I was doing that.
We're doing that.
You are too. It takes a village, but he is someone that I do look up to, not just like as Yurisbel, but as his own person, as Carlos, and his journey, which obviously we don't have time to talk about today, has
We've done
inspired
it.
me.
We have talked about
No,
it.
like
we
you know,
did.
since like
It was the first question.
since day one, you know, like we talk a lot about like high school and how we were children and we grow into the best version of ourselves, and his confidence is so at a level right now where I'm just like, I honestly wish I was at that level. It's amazing, and I know that he can do great things with that. So
Thank
good
you.
for
Such
you.
a supportive
Thank you.
girlfriend.
Confess it, baby.
Yeah.
I wish I
Confess it.
had time
I'm
for more
confessing
dating.
it. I have to
You
say
have time for what?
More dating advice from you guys, but
Hey,
we don't
listen.
have more time.
Quit your
Listen.
job, Jen. Anyway,
I just
okay.
learned your job, dude.
Find
job
someone
is
who's
great.
funny
Yeah, dude.
and just live life.
Yeah, get with a comedian. You don't want to get with like.
Get
this,
with a
like,
comedian,
football
pero ten
players,
cuidado.
bro.
Be careful, because
Don't be careful.
a lot of them are fuckboys.
It's like, would you rather get cheated on by a football player, or would you rather made fun of on stage by 350 people in front
I
of
thought you were gonna say something
Football
else, and I was like,
player.
you better be careful with what you say, boy.
What? What was?
Would you rather get cheated on by a football player or a comedian?
I would rather get cheated on by a
Ninguno.
football player because I
I
got a
know.
lot of money, but
Bueno.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, it's true. It's true, and it's inspiring to watch him in
I'm
front
trying
of
to get
people.
my boys to get my single
Get some
comedian boys to
confidence.
just like get some confidence and
And find the girl.
go for the pretty girls, dude. It's all good.
For the pretty girl.
What else do you guys? Is there anything else you want to touch base on, like important? Like I don't know. I mean, I think we got everything.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
like
I
great.
think
I
we're
think we're
done.
fine.
Oh, I do want to ask one more thing. How do you handle,
Hold on.
my
No,
camera's
hold on.
about to die, so let's...
Go. But
Okay,
I thought we were rapping. I've been saying confess it, baby, for like 5-7 minutes.
Okay, so last question. Obviously, a lot of people in Miami recognize you when you're out and about.
Okay.
How does it feel
I like
to
that
be
one, yeah.
recognized even more and more each time?
How does it feel to get? If it's a beautiful feeling. I love when people come up to me. You've seen it. If they ask for a picture, I'll take a picture. I'll ask for their names. So I try to make them feel like
community.
Yeah, I try to make them feel like I'm cool with you. I
You see them.
appreciate you. I really do love you. You are one of the people that supports what I'm doing, and it means the world. It's nice to be like recognized now for who I am and like what I really do at the core of everything. So it's a beautiful thing. I still, whenever it happens, if it happens, if you see me out there, dude, say hi. It's one of the greatest things to receive, because it's like real fan love like in front of you.
Appreciation.
Just
I
don't
will
be like
most
weird
likely
about
be
it,
the
bro.
photographer.
Don't be weird.
Just don't be weird.
Wait, now I
dude.
need to know.
Like,
What's
don't
the
hit me up on
weirdest one?
Instagram and be like, yo, follow me back now that I met you. Like, I'm not gonna follow you back, bro. My algorithm is still king. No, I'm kidding. But but I do appreciate you guys, and
Wait,
love
wait,
when
wait. I
other
want to
people
know
come
what's the weirdest thing a fan has done.
Oh man, too many fucking
my
weird
gosh,
shit.
What's
dude.
the one that like just stands out the most?
I don't know. Okay, the weirdest thing. There's been a few, and it's like, you know, I appreciate it, all you guys, no matter how creepy or weird people are. I think there's one guy that like he's been following me for like 2 years, and I think he like found me when I did like this like Spanish accent challenge that like first put me on the map and like only on data and TikTok and stuff. And ever since that man, I have that man like hidden on my general. You know how you can put primary or general, and that's where I put like people I don't really like want to be talking to. No offense to homie, but he's actually like he just sends me voice notes that are like 2 minutes long.
Saying what?
Like he'll like almost like he's like pitching to me for me to like hire him as like an other comedian. I don't know what he's thinking. Like he'll be like, dude, I'm in the car right now and I'm thinking like Kendrick Lamar has like these like great bars, and like he'll just start talking and then he'll imitate Kendrick Lamar, and it sounds really good. Like he's like, you know, like he'll just be like, nah, man, like he'll just imitate. Like he has really good talent for voices. But it's almost like he has no idea how to break in the industry, that he's just like, dude, this guy is sort of kind of making it. I'm going to send him my talent and resume and like all those little things. And he'll just send me.
Send it to his agent.
But I'm like, yo, I literally have told him like, yo, this is actually good. Like, why don't you go to an open mic and try this?
He's
Like, but
very consistent with it.
bro, he does not. Can I play one?
Player.
Is that fucked up?
Yeah, no,
dude,
play
I don't
it,
care.
play
I
it,
love him. I
play it.
appreciate him. Thank
Play it.
you. Oh my god, bro! Literally, I have one that's unopened. So here we go. Woo! Just so you know, and then he'll reply to shit. I love this guy, by the way. Thank you for coming. He does come to all the shows, so I'm not gonna talk too much shit.
That's my voice.
Oh fuck! Here we go. Hold on. So he'll just like literally send me shit like this.
Look at his excitement.
It's just I
He's
think
so
it's so
excited.
funny because
I
he's
think this is the
actually
favorite
good.
question.
But the funniest thing about it is like no one has any idea. I guess you don't know how to make it, so you just try to make it in any way. Like it's like when I would used to like post shit and I would just tag 27 people to see if who would repost it, and no one will. Hold on, let's see.
Yo, so I lost my voice. So I want you to tell me, do I sound more like Future, Percocet, Molly Percocet, Grammy? Or do I sound like Gente de Zona? Alexander, Gente de Zona.
Bro, and my reply to that was Future. And then he sent me another voice note right after.
Yo, this is Future on...
So then it's like
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. Jose, can you see? By the dawn early like motherfucker.
yo! This dude's better than me! And I'm out here like it's hilarious, bro. Dude.
Yo, that's actually really freaking
Isn't that
good.
great, dude? Like, I'm like, yo, this guy's like super...
Every single week.
Every single other day, dude. I respect him, dude. He's trying. But, like,
He needs to show up at like an open
show up
mic or
to somewhere,
something.
like, apply somewhere,
Is
like,
he
to a
scared?
voiceover.
Like-
I tell him, I'm not all the time, whenever I reply
Whenever
to
you
him.
have time.
But, like, I'm like, yo, like,
Once
go
a year.
here, go
I think
there.
you should have him as a feature on your next show. I
No,
really
not
do.
as a feature, but I'll have him,
He
like...
takes over your show like, move, Carlos.
Dude,
This is
I don't
my
know. The
stage
dude is
now.
like, I think he's like 40, like he's married,
God.
but he's really killing it though. Like he, like
He's
not.
a true fan.
Well,
That
he's
was
not really
really
killing.
good.
He does like reply to all my stuff,
Yeah.
and he like interacts with me like if we're boys, and I respect that. I like that. I like that energy of like, you know what? Yeah, we're cool. You know. So shout out to I don't know if I should say his
No,
name.
don't
No,
say, don't.
But-
shout out to homie.
Shout out to
to him.
homie, but I should shout it out so people follow him.
Up to you.
I don't
man.
know, dude. You know what? Fuck
Maybe
it.
he
You would
doesn't
appreciate
want
it.
to be followed.
Ah,
Do you think he
dude.
would?
Shout out to Jorge Acosta 1217.7, bro. Shout out to him, dude. He's killing it. Follow Jorge Acosta,
I guess this
bro.
counts as a
Alright.
He'll
confession.
hit you with the
Right.
future impressions, the
Bueno.
Alexander.
Carlos, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, bro.
And giving us so many confessions. The
So
last one was
much.
my favorite.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That shit's crazy.
I'm sure this is not the last time we'll
Yeah.
hear from you.
Oh, we're gonna keep hearing from Carlos.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
We're
around
just
for
gonna
a while.
make you our third
He
I
better
hope
be
so.
around for a while.
I mean, that in life, I,
I
hope.
mean, okay.
In every sense.
With my sister over
Yeah,
here.
even Yuri's Bell will be making comebacks for sure. In Ellie's life and in my life.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to
I'm
hear.
waiting for Yuri's bed. Maybe he'll come out for my birthday.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Dale.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Carlos,
much.
if they want to follow you at Carlos, but it's spelled with C-A-H.
Good job.
Right?
It's CAHRLOS. It's an H in the middle. The reason for that is because my mom used to put CAHR on my notebooks when I was growing up because my initials are Carlos Alberto Hernandez Rodriguez. So then I was just like, I'm going to be cute with it. And then now it's become my brand and I just tell people I'm Brazilian. Carlos. So
Nice.
follow me at Carlos on Instagram, TikTok. Go buy some merch. We just finished uploading some merch with my assistant / manager / Judy's Bell's biggest fan. Go buy some merch at carlos.com, CHRLS.com. And if you're in LA or you're anywhere in the country or the world, come to a show, come see me. We'll have a good time.
There.
Just don't ask me to follow you back. Thank you. I love you guys. Appreciate you both.
Thank you guys for listening in today. Make
Yes.
sure to subscribe,
Follow,
follow, reviews, everything. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Make sure to interact with our questions because
Yes.
you never know when you could be getting a
Yes.
shout
That is
out.
true.
We shall see you guys next hump day.
To confess it, baby.
Bye.